B will communicate to all the way to the temporary zone. Okay, there is a timer we have in the switches in the switch level. That is a layer one switch.
Okay.
If A is communicating to the temporary, the timer what it will do, it will shut down the port in temporary to B. So there is no any network communication.
Okay.
So this will be running for every half an hour. Another half an hour, A to B communication will be sorry A to temporary will be the the network communication will be down. Temporary to B will be there is a communication. So if there is a transaction which is sent to A to B, first it will go to temporary. Then another half an hour, the temporary will send you to B. If there is any response will be transferred, vice versa. So here actually what I'm start thinking and start designing here is whether the same network policy is applicable or because this is a new environment, new data center, everything is new. We are going to build up from scratch. We have the existing data center that might be converted to the DR or that might be converted to the DR. So now we are in a situation to build the complete new infrastructure. Okay, our project is running for more than 10 years. Okay, I am the part of that immigration projects. Okay, so that we are running for more than 10 years. So this is what I'm thinking, but I don't know whether I'm right or not. Am I
Yes,
right
you're
or which? So what are the key points I have to consider?
So the matter of fact that if you're talking about India's project parameters, so first of all, you should understanding about the information security sort of things where the informations are resides. Okay, and so we
Ah,
have
okay. So
some different types of security controls. Okay,
ah,
okay, and the second thing, whatever you're going to do it, okay, in your infrastructure or enterprise architecture part, right? You need to
mm,
uh, do the risk assessment. The risk management is what very important to understand. If you're going to do any sort of certifications like top certifications we're talking about here is is what CISA, CISM or CSSP or SRIG or that we have some different type of certifications sort of stuff. So the risk assessment
okay.
is the key to success. Okay, in
Uh,
enterprise, what the top management required, they required the person who was going to do the risk assessment perfectly.
mm-hmm.
So the risk
What?
assessment, and then you need to understand is this uh, business to business or business to customer, B, B2B or B2C is sort of concepts you need
Uh,
to understand. Okay,
okay, okay.
and then you need to first, and then you are the responsible because you're the architect, you're working as an enterprise architect sort of okay, and you have some different teams availability so that all the teams the responsibility key are they will be defined that what is the rules and what are the responsibilities they will have to perform because you are the architect, you are going to provide some drawings, okay, like visual sort of reports how the data communication going to be working, how the application going to working. Best of the
Okay,
part,
yes.
the execution part has been done by the different people, like your team is going to perform it. If they're going to struck in somewhere, and they will then as an architect you need to help them that where they are going to struck. So once you creating the enterprise architecture platforms, you should aware about the compliances. As per the compliance, it is the right architect or not. Okay, and
Mm,
as per the same time the governance approval. Okay, governance management because enterprise uh, governance, okay, and the corporate governance they will going to approve authority of your architecture because you
okay,
are working as a architect, okay, enterprise architect
okay.
profile, but you are not the right authority to going to approve all those things. Okay,
Ah,
so
yes, yes,
approving
yes.
authority is also required. Who is going to approve? Because in the
Mm,
most of the companies are CISO, chief information security officer, is going
yes.
to approve your enterprise architect whatever you are going to create.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So,
okay, okay.
so the matter of fact that Rahel is depend on the business to business use cases. Okay, suppose you're going to
Okay.
create enterprise architecture in the MNC, or somebody is going to create a architecture into the small, medium, or small or medium sort of companies. So the matter of fact that guys, you need to be understand that what sort of the culture, the ethics of the company, and what sort of the top management, the stakeholders, the requirement analysis you need to going to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's, yeah, I think he's also joined. SK also joined.
Yeah, SK, are you there?
Yeah, I joined. Yeah, I was just listening because I got a call, so I was busy in the call. That's why.
Okay, no
Sorry.
problem, no problem.
Yeah.
It will happen because because in India also, you know what, some as running seasons also there, so they will delete sort of things. So we are just Rahil and me just talking about the, you know what, the enterprise architect, he has going to perform what sort of things into the organizations. Okay, so
Okay.
we are
Okay.
talking about the business to business and business to customer enterprise architect, who is a approved authority in this particular architect, and you are the responsible for architecture. Okay, designing part, how the data communications, how the application is going to be running, how you know what database is going to be sync, or the application will be the cloud sort of steps. Okay, and apart from this, you know what, all the teams are going to execute of all your plan.
Okay.
And once you're going to, you know what, if you're talking about into the information technologies point of view, right, in the information technology point of view, if you're going to implement the enterprise architect, so you should aware about 2 or 3 terms, very important, like risk assessment, how perfect you are into the risk assessment, first thing is required. And second thing, if you're talking about the business continuity plan and disaster recovery plan, the third one is incident response plan. What is, if the incident will be happen, how are you going to be responding same time? So the security architect or the enterprise architect or application architect, database architect, these are the some main very important terms to be understand. And as far as concern about the architect, so we have different models you need to be applied. We have some reference models, we have some you know what, talking about some different architecture application level. So we are just going to talking about all those terms, that how effective way you're going to be create the architecture, enterprise architecture sort of stuffs. Okay, so
Okay.
so talk. So I hope you
Hello.
are able to see the screen right now.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I can.
Okay, so the first of all, by question to you know what, in the talk of 9.2, okay, so why we require the enterprise architecture? If we not going to create the architecture, then if the things are not working, absolutely not fine or not. What's your thoughts about it? Do we require enterprise architecture? What is the need behind it?
Yes, actually, here the need of the enterprise architecture is the person should have the complete knowledge of that all the areas which is we see it in the previous slide, like business, application, data, and technology. So that if there is any clarification or if there is anything has to be implemented or anything, so that architecture has should have the good knowledge about the complete system in the enterprise level, so that he will be saying actually he should know that impact analysis on then everything. What I'm saying here is in the future means that if the the road uh, the enterprise architecture should know about the the roadmap of the project and everything. So that enterprise architecture is not only depending on the one-to-one projects. He might be having the knowledge of complete enterprises system, like SharePoint or shared locations, data sharing between the teams or file sharing, so that all those things will be he should be aware of that things. If I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, absolutely right. So I'm going to add something into this, because the management required the enterprise architect. Because once
See
you
this.
suppose, Yes, please
One,
go ahead.
this one, actually, for me, I'm not pretty clear about. I am not pretty clear about enterprise architecture and the difference between them. Like what we were discussing yesterday, the solution architect, or with that, what is the major difference in the enterprise architecture? I'm not sure. So, better if you could explain, it would be nicer.
Yeah, sure. Because this is a starting point, my dear. Because I'm just going to take your views, and then I will going to provide the informations more and more. Because we are starting right now. We have not completed. It's a starting.
Correct, correct. Because I don't have any input. That's why. Because I
Yeah,
don't
no
know much
problem, no problem. If you don't
on
have,
this
no
part. Yeah,
problem
yeah,
with this.
yeah,
Because
yeah, yes.
I would like to, because we are, the trainers, we require, what's your point of view? And then once we're going to provide you the training and what your approach is changed or not changed, this is the matters for us. Because the TOGAF, CISA, CISM, or CISP, or information security, cyber security, these are exams are logical, the conceptual. Okay, and this is, this is required, your experience and exposure to change your approach. Because suppose SK, you are the enterprise architect, and also Rafael is also the enterprise architect, but once you're going to implement a project, your approach is different. Okay, because it makes us your experience. If you have experience and exposure all those of technologies, that you will going to do some better things. But if you don't have the exposure or experience sort of stuffs, then it's possible that there may be some, mistakes, or you can say that need to not perfectly things has to be worked on the same. So we have just going to starting that. So effective management and exploration of information through IT is the key business success. So first of all, you need to be understand that what is effective management is all about. The effective management and explosion of information through IT is the key business success. Suppose you are the IT guy, okay? You are enterprise architect, or suppose you are infrastructure manager. And if you're not going to provide the right information to the management, then what happened? The productivity will be lost for the users. The huge loss sometimes, if you're not predicting, if you're not going to, doing some benchmark, hardware or software benchmarking, if you're not going to perform, then the loss of productivity, loss of the business, same time. So that is why we required enterprise architect, because the management required effective solution from the IT information technology. So enterprise architecture is mainly about your IT infrastructures, how effective your infrastructure is all about. So we have second point, good informations management is equal to competitive advantage. So the matter of fact that how the good information management, because management is always required the good information, right informations on the right time. So they are going to check it out the competitive advantage about all the competitors. Suppose if you're talking about guys, if you know that Informatica or this business intelligence tools, anything you would like to know that how the business intelligence tools are going to work. Do you have any idea about it, Informatica or something like that? So that in
Uh,
the yes, please go ahead.
these are all are the DI tools, right?
Yeah. Yes, business.
Yes, yes.
So the Informatica, or if you're just talking about the AWS, Azure, cloud computing, or right now the artificial intelligence sort of things. So what they are going to do it, they are going to provide the business intelligence reports, the predictions. Okay, suppose you suppose Rahel is going to do a business. Okay, Rahel has their own company, and the Hale is very interested as a stakeholders that after 10 days or 1 month later, how much sale is for my company, how much profit or my company, what is the forecasting of your business. So if you're going to do the forecasting sort of stuffs for the 10 days or 1 month, okay, you require a good information management system in the company. So good information management system, it means that you are getting the right information from your management. The HR is going to provide the right informations. The IT is providing the right informations. The sales department provide you the right informations. How? Okay. And at the end of the annual reports in the business, okay, the profit and loss account, you will see that your profit is increasing day by day, and it will basically the competitive advantage of your competitors. So you are just going to grow your business. And if you're going growing your business, you require the right informations at the right time, at the right people, at the right place. This is the requirement. So current IT systems do not really meet the needs of the business. Why? That is why the enterprise architecture comes to the picture, my dear friends. Because if you're talking about in the enterprise architect, IT infrastructure systems, the company goals and mission and vision is is different, and IT teams are they are going to do some different stuffs. So your overall IT infrastructure, information security systems, or your enterprise architect, the goal or the vision or the mission to meet the business needs. So what we can going to do it, suppose you are working on a company, and the company are they are doing some IT infrastructure sort of stuffs. Okay. So the matter of fact that, guys, what you going to do it? Suppose company is going to ask you that they will going to deployment all the other IT infrastructure to the cloud computing, like AWS or Azure or Google Cloud. So the matter of fact that because companies are going to purchase some of the VMware, okay, VMware is a virtualization system, you know that very well. And once you're going to, going to VMware platform to the cloud computing, it will take lots of costing parameters. So at the same time, the business needs, first of all, as an enterprise architect, you need to be understand what is the need of the business, what is the goal and mission of the business. If you're going to deployment the cloud, what is the benefit, what is the advantage we will going to get it. So as an enterprise architect, you need to be understand, once you're going to be connect with the client, once you're going for the meetings on the different clients, and if you're in the conference with the clients, so this is the first of all, you need to understand the business, what the business is of your company it is. Once you understand the business, then you think that your IT infrastructure or your IT management sort of system is going to be support your business needs or not. So there are different number of reasons behind it. Why the IT management system is not going to be meet the needs of the business? The poorly understand, not responsive to change, fragmented and duplicated. So my dear friends, suppose in your company, the salesperson is going to meet the client and he will going to commit that these things we're going to do it. But once the salesperson come to office and meet the enterprise architect like you, and you will see that it is not going to be possible. So it is poorly understood sometimes. Sometimes the architect is also poorly understand, because technology is changing day by day in the modern time. And suppose if I'm talking about the blockchain, if I'm talking about some artificial intelligence sort of stuffs, so you guys are understanding the IT infrastructure, right? Like routers, switches, application, ERP, Oracle, you know that. But if you're talking about the blockchain, the machine learning, you don't know till now how the blockchain going to working, how the bitcoins and ether, this is the bitcoins virtual currency is going to be working at the back end. So once you're going to architect some different domains, you should be understanding very clearly and not responsive to change. So the change management is also very important prospects one in the enterprise architect. Risk management and change management just keep a note in your notebook that this is the two things you need to be work around each and everything about the risk management and change management. How the things going to be working in the change management? What is a change version? What is a change control? What is a change advisory board? What is a change raise? How going to do the request for the change management? Because once you're going for the change management changes, it is required some costing. It is required some migration. It is required resource allocation. It is required approval authority. So the number of things you need to perform, my dear friends, in the change management. So fragmented and duplicated. Sometimes you just going to duplicate the things, fragmented the things. Investment in information technology focused on system maintenance and technical developments other than strategic plan. So as an enterprise architecture, once you're going to perform it, first of all, you need to understand what is the company operational strategic plan. What is the technical strategic plan for the company? So what I'm trying to tell you here is what is the, short-term plans of the company, what is the long-term of the company, like 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 3 years, what is the plan, strategic plan of the company? Or as an architect, how do you going to plan all those things? How do you create a strategy? So tactical developments rather than strategic plan. You need to provide some tactical developments. What do you mean by tactical developments? It means that the development, security, operations, the three things are working together to a specific goal. And you need to focus on system maintenance. If your systems are not patched, okay, then there's an issue will be there. If you're not maintain your inventory, it's also the issue will be there in the IT. So there are multiple issues, my dear friends, into the IT. And due to this, it is not going to provide the right information to the management. And if the management not going to, forecasting the needs of the IT infrastructure, then little bit of at the in the forecasting, they will not going to do right things. So the enterprise architecture we required just because of these are some gaps. We need to fill up all those gaps. That is why the enterprise architecture required the company. So why enterprise architectures? Two key reasons why you need an enterprise architecture critical to business survival and success. If you would like to, survive your business and your success of your business, you require the enterprise architecture. Enables managed innovation within the enterprise. Because if you're going to do enterprise architectures, you have innovative ideas in your company. What do you mean by innovative ideas? Innovative idea is, suppose you are going to paying for the licenses, but right now we have some open source tools available in the market. You need to modify the tools as per the requirement, and then you can use it free of cost. You need to modify the things. You need to think out of the box. Because the enterprise architecture will going to help your business needs. And it will going to check it out what is your business goals, objectives, and what is the IT infrastructure going to help all those to get all those objectives. So the pressure to develop enterprise architecture laws and regulations. Klinger-Chosin Act, US Information Tech Management Reform Act 1996, European Union Directives of Award of Public Contracts, Sarbanes-Oxley. So more extended enterprises, more cooperative IT operations, greater publicity to failures, increase in litigation, audit requirements. So suppose you are going to develop an enterprise architecture in your company. So it will going to help you into the laws. It will going to help in the audit requirements, increase in litigations, greater publicity to failures, more cooperative IT operations, more extended enterprises. So the matter of fact that suppose I am coming to your company and you are the enterprise architecture implemented, so you have all the informations about the IT infrastructure. What suppose the diagrams, standards, policies, guidelines, baselines, and all these are compliant with your ISO 27000 or your PCI DSS compliance or HIPAA compliance. At the same time, you're just going to check some regulations. It is a regulatory act as per the regulatory act or not. We in India we have IRDA, okay, for telecom ministry going to be, you know what, all the regulations will be there. So we have regulatory. This is one organization will regulate all those things, and the company is going to adopt all those things in telecommunications. So different countries have different sort of things. Regulatory agencies are there. So whether you are working as per this particular regulations, whether you are working on as per the laws, do you are compliant or not compliant, and do you require the auditing or not in the company, is also talking about the enterprise architecture will going to help you all those things. And suppose you do enterprise architecture, you're going to do the publicity. So different. Suppose you're going for the client location, you can say that we have enterprise architecture developed, is available in the company. So once you're talking about the enterprise architecture, the other person, the client will going to understand that you have some standards maintaining. You are compliant. You are maintaining the laws. You are maintaining the regulations. Yes, please.
I have one doubt here. Actually,
Please
there
go
is some regulations and policies are there, right? So these
Yes.
are the regulations and policies are generic from the TOGAF or there is some ISO standard will be there, right?
Yes.
In case suppose that enterprise that management doesn't follow that this one, so how can we achieve this the goal here?
And come again, please tell me again.
Okay, what I'm saying is, okay, there is some there is some policies is there, right? Enterprises policies are there as per defined by the ISO standard or TOGAF standard, right?
TOGAF is the
So
frameworks, my dear. It is the best practices, the methodology. It is not compulsory. You can going to do or not do as per your, as you like it. Suppose the ITL, COBIT, TOGAF, these are some frameworks. So it doesn't matter that you need to compulsory going to implement on the company. It doesn't matter of that. You're going to do it or not going to do it. It's your own wish.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
And,
but we're talking about some regulations, we're talking about some laws, we're talking about some compliances. So it is implemented as per your business use case. Suppose you are going to do some patient informations, okay, and you have some healthcare informations, which is in the US location. And suppose US location to India, suppose the India company is going to take, the business, okay, and acquisition of some of the companies or mergers sometimes, okay. So in the India company, you require to HIPAA compliant same time compliance, because you are going to take the information from the US locations, patient informations, and if the patient information are going to be, compromised, then who's responsible? The company is responsible. They need to pay penalty at the same time. And if you're talking about if you are living in the Europe location, so GDPR is there. So suppose you are the client, you are the, okay, you are going to visit a website in the Europe location or any US or Europe location websites. So first of all, you need to accept the terms and conditions, and they will not going to compromise your data. This is a responsibility from the particular website or the company. If your personal information going to be compromised, then they have some legal issues will be there. That is why the GDPR comes to the picture. So if you are an enterprise architect, if you are going to do business architect, you have some, basic idea, or like I can say that in the risk management, change management, and compliance, laws, regulations, why we're going to do it, what is the use cases, how we're going to implement. This is the information, because it's a top informations will going to help you out into the once we're going into the doing some modifications or changes into the enterprise level. Sometimes we going to do some cross-border transactions. Okay, so suppose Abu Dhabi to India, suppose the things are going to be changed, so we have different regulations we need to follow it. So business benefits of enterprise architecture, it helps an organization achieve its business strategy. Faster time to market for new innovations and capabilities. More constant business processes and information across business units. More reliability and security, less risk. So the matter of fact that, guys, you are doing an enterprise architect. So first of all, why we going to implement? What is the benefit? What is the use case? Try to figure out all those things, and then you will step by step go into the advanced things. Because yesterday I have seen, SK is going to send me, Shoji send me one of the the enterprise architect sort of PDFs or stuffs. So in the same enterprise architect is going to show it. So in the company, once you're going for the interview, they will going to ask you that in our company there is nothing like enterprise architecture. So first of all, let us know that what is the benefit if you're going to implement the enterprise architect in the company. So it's a more reliability and security and less risk will be there. And it helps an organization to achieve its business strategy. So business benefits are many more: a more efficient business operations, a more efficient IT operations, better return or on second, better return on existing investment, reduced risk for future investment, faster and simpler and cheaper procurement. Yes, please.
One doubt, like I asked previously, the enterprise architect and solution architect. So now in the profile, in job profile, you are saying as a, I will describe me as a solution architect, okay, or senior solution architect. And the enterprise architect, sometimes you can see that, okay, we require enterprise architect. So there is a big difference between a solution architect and as an enterprise architect, or it's all terms, or what? Because if when you explain about the enterprise architecture and enterprise architect, it includes a little bit more than a solution architect. I feel like that, because many areas which we don't consider, or not important. As a solution architect, maybe some areas which we are not touching, which is mentioning in the enterprise architect. So, do you have any comments on that part, or you can give me some clarity on this part, so as a solution architect or enterprise architect, is both are can consider same, or it is different as a job profile, and plus um, the details can, maybe you can give a little bit with example.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, if you're talking about the enterprise architecture, okay, it's a tree. Okay, and solution architect, application architect, database architect, cloud architect, it's a branches, because it's enterprise is a company. Okay, it's enterprise, it's big terms. Okay, and if you're talking about the
So
solution architect, you're just going to provide some different type of solution,
yeah, so
like
that means
networks.
that means the position like a solution architect is different from a position of enterprise architect, right? Enterprise architect should have a broader vision, you mean, and
Yes,
broader experience than a solution architect, right?
yes. Solution architect, suppose you are the person and you are expert into the subject matter expert architect into the ERP solution only. Okay, so you just going to provide
Okay.
some ERP solution, anything, whatever. Somebody going to ask me what is the version of ERP, what
Okay.
is the changes in the ERP, how to configuration, the changes, maintenance, migrations of ERP. So you are the perfect person for solution architect about the ERP. Okay, and somebody like Rahil is the expert into this networks platform or cloud platforms. So whatever the cloud thinks, he's the expert on the one thing, solution architect. Okay, because in the company, if you're just talking about some endpoint security solutions, data leakage prevention sort of solutions, bring your own device solutions, mobile device management solutions. Okay, so we have different type of solutions. So what type of solution you are going to provide it? It depends on the step by step, company to company. But enterprise is a broader term. We're going to use it. So with all the enterprises, what is the requirement? It sometimes it's not from the IT. Sometimes some different terms are also there. The business enterprises architects. Okay. So
Okay. So the JD of enterprise architect will differ from a JD of a solution architect, right? As of now, for me, I can take it like only the infra part, maintaining infra part, architect like ERP or with the hardware or
solution
the
architecture is a
networking part.
part of enterprise
Yeah.
architecture, my dear.
Okay. Okay. I got it. Yeah. So
Okay. So
it have a major differences in the JD part. I mean, like the job part, right?
yes, you need to understand only technical differences only. Okay, suppose you are appointed as a solution architect in the company, so that you're going to provide the only solutions. Suppose in the companies,
Of the yeah for
emails
the
are
infra
compromised.
means infra. Hmm.
Yes, suppose the company's emails are compromised, so you need to provide some solution on the email compromise sort of things. So you will say, please go ahead for Cisco Alien Vault sort of things going to be, or Cisco, or we have some different Office 365 Azure production plan. We're going to purchase it. Okay, and suppose you're going to say that, sir, you can go for the DLP solution, data leakage prevention sort of things, and we need to configure some policies. And okay, so whatever the signature based or pattern based things going to go outside or inside, you're going to be taking care of all of this same times. But in the enterprise, we have some broader view of each and everything. Like business architecture, we have just talking about so many things about enterprise architecture in the later on. So you will see that all those things are comes under the enterprise architecture.
Okay, so in the career growth, can you say like when you work as a solution architect, then you can go for enterprise architect like that when you have the broader idea about other areas like that, or it is nothing to do. It is not correlated. Enterprise architect is like just like that. You can do like that if you have the idea of all particular area. You don't not need to be work as a solution architect or something like that.
It is depend on the company to company what type of architect they require.
Requirement.
Suppose
Yeah.
requirement depend on it. Okay,
Yeah.
suppose you just
Okay.
check on the job descriptions. Sometimes you see
Mhm.
that enterprise architect and sometimes you see solution architect. Okay, so
Yeah.
companies are mostly write down the enterprise architecture in the job descriptions, because if they got
Yeah.
the enterprise architect
Sometimes
person,
I
that's
can
is good.
see. Yeah. Sometimes I can see the JD like there's like a senior architect required, but under the JD they will mention about the products or this and that or the roles and responsibilities. With that, we need to understand it's a solution architect level or it's a enterprise architect level. That's what you mean, right?
Yes, it's in the job description. You will say that what type of product they are going to. Suppose you are appointed as a cloud security or cloud architecture sort of stuff. Okay, so they have only one product of cloud. Okay, and you are appointed as a solution architect for cloud computing.
Hmm.
Okay, but the company is going to be growing. Okay, and if they are, what mergers or acquisition will be happen, and they are taking some sort of project, and enterprise architecture will be required. Okay, so border view, you going to configure sometimes the active directory sort of stuffs. Okay, security sometimes, Sometimes
Yeah,
you
from the
go,
existing to migrate to cloud, maybe adding new product to the company organization, new
yes,
requirement.
yes,
Plus, maybe migration also will be there for some product go to this cloud, from product go to that cloud, like that. Altogether, you mean like that will be the enterprise level, right?
yes. So
Magesh,
in
Magesh,
enterprise,
I have one more clarification.
yeah,
Yeah,
please
sorry
go
to
ahead.
interrupt you with Magesh and Zahil. So, like, what I'm saying is, first of all, that enterprise architect is only a single person, is a team. This is what just I want to know. Is the architect team or okay? I will. What that Sergey is, he has raised a very good point. Like, the difference between the solution architect and the enterprise architect. Okay, now I will come to in this way. I have the custom application. I am the solution architecture of my application, my thing. Shogal is the solution architecture for the ERP. Now there are the certain parts has to be integrated between both of us. So this one, okay, I am zero. I don't know about any knowledge of ERP. So at the same time, the Sohail will not have that any information about my project, right? But both are the solution architecture. Okay. So here my question is, who is the enterprise architecture? So there is that person or it's a team that enterprise architecture. It will be having the multiple domain or how it will be real.
The solution architect or enterprise architect is, it's a profile. Okay, it's a profile sort of things and the job description.
Okay. See, actually, yeah,
Okay,
this is what I'm saying.
so
See,
and
now actually
you need to
as a
create
solution
architecture.
architect, yes, I understand. Actually, what I'm saying is, as a solution architecture of my project, I know about okay the how to see actually which flow has to go to the ERP system, which flow does not go to the ERP system. Okay, there I know where to tune, where I have to send the request. Okay, we will make one web services or whatever. So, but I don't know how to migrate with the this ERP system. But the SK he is actually expert in the this ERP system. Okay, so in this case, who is the responsible to do the integration between both the system?
Once you're going to
There is
be
some
hired,
senior.
once you're going to hire into the company, they will going to take your interview, and then they will going to check it out whether you are worked on the same sort of platform or not. If you
Okay.
have, if you are worked on the same sort of platform, then you are the right person for